Anywho, yeah, so a Canadian band did that in the late 70s. Oh.
I tried to run and hide, but Jesus came and found me, and he touched me down inside. He is like a mountain.
Touch me down inside.
Yeah.
And he'll zap you any way he can.
Zap you.
Zap. He always gets his man, and he'll zap you any way he can. Any way he can. Yeah, I like those guys. I don't know if they're still kicking around up there north of the border, but the singer and bass player for that band, they're the real deal. So... don't mind them at all. We have a handful of Canadian bureau chiefs, by the way. We have Ray, who listens in Vancouver on the iHeartRadio app. We have Robin and James, who listen in Toronto. We have people. We don't have anybody, I don't think, in the middle of the country in Canada, because you can listen on the app all throughout North America. So I know we've got Ray. I know we've got the people in Toronto. I know we've got... man, I don't think we have anybody... we might have somebody in Calgary. I don't think we have anybody in Ottawa. I don't think we have anybody in Saskatoon. Mary? I don't know if anybody's repping Regina.
That's the thing you spit into, a Saskatoon, right?
Yeah,
you meant a Regina.
A Regina.
Oh.
You know what? Sometimes I will, yes, if it's requested.
Come on.
If she asks.
Not dirty.
I'm happy to oblige. Oh, breaking news. Do you want breaking news? This is like actual breaking news.
Exclusive news update.
The Supreme Court is blocking enforcement of the Biden administration's vaccine mandate on large businesses.
I just had to do it.
This is no shock, by the way.
Yeah,
This was a fait accompli. There was a 6-3 court majority, 6 being the conservatives on the court.
I downloaded that app for nothing.
Yeah.
Which app?
We had to download an app and update our vaccination cards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah, you did too.
But there was a website. You just put it all in there.
Yeah.
I didn't download any app.
Well, I
Just
did the app.
Yeah.
Oh, anywho, there you go. Yeah, iHeartMedia would be a large business.
Was it anything over 100 employees? Was that what
I
it
think
was?
that might have been something like that. Yeah. So again, that's no big shock. Everybody knew that's the way it was gonna go. But Glenn Beck, by the way, who I think still airs down the hall on WTAM, he has COVID again, and he's concerned because it's gotten into his lungs.
Oh, no.
But but of course, he's taken all the stuff, the horse dewormer and everything other. I don't know if Glenn Beck has gotten vaccinated, but I know he was going on, he's pimping a book. And so he went on some other dude's show and sounds like he's having a rough time. He had it last year. He had COVID. And coming out of that, he was like, why do I need to be vaccinated? I already had it. I'll be fine. You can get it multiple times. And yes, vaccinations do help, unequivocally. My son has had COVID the last 2 Christmases. Some people are just prone to... Huh?
So convenient.
Very convenient.
Oh, you can't come home again.
Okay. But Glenn Beck he says he's not worried, even though it's in his lungs, which to me doesn't sound good. I don't know how you determine that it's moved to your lungs, but...
Just pneumonia, usually.
There were all these right-wing radio guys that were dying. They were very vocal about their anti-vax status, very proud of it. And for a while, before the holidays, they were dropping like flies. God forbid anything should happen to Glenn Beck, but he would easily be the most high-profile person to perish from that.
Glenn, how are you, my friend?
Despite having COVID and seeing the destruction of our country,
Yes.
I'm great.
Oh, yeah, right. I forgot to mention that he's also
yeah.
overseeing the destruction of our country, right? Because I think his book is about how, if you can suppress your laughter, his book is about how Joe Biden is a fascist.
I can't
either. Oh, it's so good.
It's so stupid.
The last guy was perfect, but they just cannot handle. It's the best.
Despite having COVID and seeing the destruction of our country,
Yes.
I'm great.
Now, do you have COVID right now?
Yeah, I do. A lighter case, but it's now starting to go into my lungs today, and a little disturbing. But I'm on all the medication and treatment, and ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine.
I'm on all the medications. I'm on all the ones that don't
Especially
work.
the two that don't do anything.
Don't do anything. Oh, Glenn Beck. Poor Glenn. You know, for a while, I wish this book had come sooner because for a while, that was my traditional Christmas gift for my parents when I would get them the new Glenn Beck book.
Oh, I was like, fascism? Or
I assume maybe they're in. Who knows what people are into anymore? But by the way, I'm not sure how you say I have a lighter case, but now it's in my lungs. That would worry me.
I think what he's saying is that he's having trouble breathing for the first time, or he feels chest pressure.
Is that what it is?
Because if he's just at home, that's what I took from it. Saying that it's in my lungs means he's probably for the first time experiencing respiratory issues.
I see.
Right?
To
use logic.
I mean, that to me would seem to be a worse case scenario than it feeling great.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you got to say, I feel great.
Yeah.
I'm taking all this nonsense, but I feel great. But he seems a little on the fence about it.
Today, and a little disturbing. But I'm on all the medication and treatment, and ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, fluvoxin. I'm feeling better. It's just getting into my lungs. You want to avoid that, but I'm feeling better, and I'm a fatty fat though. So that's probably not the best thing. And I've got some other issues, but that's just the way it is.
Listen, other than being fat and having some other issues and taking a bunch of medications that don't do anything for what I have, I feel great. So, our best to Glenn Beck.
How big is
two
he?
ends.
Is he mobile?
Can
he walk?
Oh no, he's
Yeah.
not crazy fat.
Okay.
He's just saying I'm fatter than I should be, and he
Right.
is.
Overweight.
I mean, he looks like Glenn Beck now looks like every person that they get to play Colonel Sanders in the KFC commercials.
Ah, okay.
I don't know why they just haven't gotten him in there. Maybe he'd be too controversial of a figure to put in there, but they should absolutely be putting him in. If they're still doing somebody playing the Colonel, they might be past that now. Because it was Norm.
Wow, he really does.
God bless Norm. You know, Norm played Colonel Sanders for a while.
Jim
Reba
Gaffigan.
McEntire, Gaffigan, Jason Alexander. A lot of people did, and I think that they short shrifted Glenn Beck by not asking him, at least his people, to go, hey, would he have any interest? Clearly, he's a man who likes food. Would he have any interest in playing Colonel Sanders? But this whole destruction of our country nonsense, people still don't get that what happens to the economy is entirely contingent on what happens with the virus. And if you don't have that under control, you don't have the economy under control. You don't have a national economy under control. You don't have a global economy under control. It's very, very simple.
Nice try. It's Joe Biden's fault.
You know, I keep hearing these, and they'll have them on television, these people who are proudly unvaccinated, and then they'll get super, super sick. And then they have this epiphany that vaccines are where it's at, right? It's like when people get lung cancer and they go, all I gotta say is don't smoke cigarettes. We're like, yeah, we know. That's all anybody's been saying for 50 years. All of a sudden you're telling people, don't smoke. Yeah, everybody knows that. It's the 21st century. So, again, I wasn't able to get my parents the latest Glenn Beck book because I don't know that it's out yet, but it must be. He was promoting it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll stumble upon it.
Maybe they already have it, though. I don't know.
He probably has some sort of book club subscription service.
I guess I should find out. I got $1,000 to give to you, a chance for you to go fund yourself. So listen closely. You do this plenty of times throughout the day, but I hope you win. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword FUN at WMMS.com. That's fun. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
You want to leave us a message anytime you can. The Alan Cox Show After Hours line is 216-986-8903.
Yo, Alan, hey, with all the recent chat about artists selling their catalogs and NFTs, got me kind of thinking about the cast of characters that call in. We got Robert from, or Dick from Dayton. We got
Robert from, God, where's Robert
Redville?
from? Robert from Redville? Yeah.
We got Rick, of course, Darnell. I mean, Darnell could sell his catalog, and I'm sure I'm sure Rick's got a couple NFTs floating around somewhere in his ecosystem. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, Love for All Seasons alone is worth at least, I don't know, a couple $100,000. All right, what do you think?
Love for All Seasons NFT. Yeah, again, we haven't heard from Darnell in like a year and a half.
Well, I think he's talking about the rights to it.
Oh, I see. Selling his catalog. Yeah. We haven't heard from Darnell in a long time.
We haven't heard from
Rick. And I think since we've been back, since we've been back, we have.
Hope he's all right.
But we got the big, on that subject, we got the big announcement this morning that this company, that iHeart Media, announced their expansion into the Metaverse. So, unfortunately, this is something that even if you want nothing to do with any of this nonsense, you're going to be consumed by it. So everybody's going to have to figure out like how they're going to operate, I guess, in this space, because you're not going to be able to avoid it.
It's just so weird.
Well,
and I know people say that about all new technology. I get it.
It's not that it's weird. It's that we're in a decade of speculation now, where everybody's telling you things that have no inherent value have value. Mm-hmm. You know, there's people spending. The last time I saw, it would have been Thanksgiving, I think, when I saw my older kids when they came to Cleveland. And my son was telling me about people who are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars buying property
in the
Metaverse, buying virtual property. Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
And I go, well, I don't understand how that, like, if you can buy real land. And he's like, well, this is real in there. And when he explains it, I sound like a dummy, and it sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's all speculative. I mean, it's like, you know, Kim Kardashian's in trouble or she's getting sued for a crypto thing, right? So, because
the way I think of the Metaverse, like buying land there, it's like buying domain names. So you're going to buy things that are going to be accessed a lot, so they're going to get a lot of traffic. So it's not necessarily
if you're
square footage,
right.
But you're buying something that's going to be used a lot. So
if you're Snoop's neighbor, there's going to be a lot of people coming to that spot and then advertisers. But it's like anything else. It's like, I was reading about Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather are getting sued because they were both getting paid by some crypto company to post on Instagram about this amazing Ethereum Max or whatever, right? Well, now they're getting sued because they're like, they made all these misleading statements because it was just one big pump and dump scheme, which is still what crypto largely is. So, listen, if you're Kim Kardashian and you get $1 million per post, I think, you know what I mean?
Literally.
I think you'll be okay, but these people that want to get into this space because there's money to be made there, you know, everybody dunking on Matt Damon for the Crypto.com ads and Reese Witherspoon's getting paid. So they're all these like high profile people. All of a sudden they're magically way into crypto and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you can buy Bitcoins at 7-Eleven. So it's like, it's all speculation. It's a huge, huge bubble which will pop, and people who already have money will just have more money. It's not the democratization of currency. It's basically a way for people who are wealthy to become wealthier. So when we get the memo this morning that this company is like, you know, we're getting into the metaverse. I mean, whatever. It's a digital company. You should do what you got to do. But, you know.
But she's a billionaire, though.
Good for her.
I just can't believe she beat out, like, Kylie was the billionaire for a little bit. Then she sold her $400 million worth. And then now Kim is...
Yeah, but it's also all ones and zeros anyway. It's not like she can go write a check for $1 billion in cash.
Oh, I bet you she could.
No, she can't. That's $1 billion in your... I mean, anyone's net worth is a combination of things that exist and things that don't exist. Most of that money is just ones and zeros flying through the air.
But it has to be tangible, though. Like
it doesn't have to be tangible. That's where the speculation all comes from.
But it's
that's the entire point. It's why it's a non-fungible token. Like they don't have to be. You know, that's why people are freaking out, because there are these large investment firms now that are buying out the housing market because they don't want people owning homes anymore. They want people renting forever. So, like, the city of Indianapolis is dealing with these huge, kind of shadowy investment firms that are buying up tons of houses. And then they rent them to people. And, you know, so because what do they always say was the huge doorway to, like, being in the middle class is owning a home. They don't want that anymore. They want people renting forever so they can get all that value out of those homes and just use your rent as leverage over you. It's not conspiratorial to say that's what's happening, because that's what's happening. You know, there are huge companies buying up tons of property and then renting them out to people.
When I was in Indianapolis at the beginning of December, the parking garages there, downtown Indianapolis, it's not like it's a hot spot. It's not like it's a tourist destination. The parking garages were $60 a night on the cheap end. Some up to $7,500. Not just because the football game was in town. I asked the people
That's to park overnight?
To park overnight. I asked people at the hotel, and they said basically exactly what you said, where they said somebody came in, bought up every single parking structure downtown Indianapolis, and then just jacked the prices up, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Because parking structures are pure profit.
Yeah.
The thing's already built.
Yep.
If you want to park there, you got to put.
maintenance,
They said it was.
When's the
like
last time you saw somebody cleaning a parking structure?
Right. They said it was like $25 a night, which is still high, I feel like, but now it's
But
60,
that's like
75.
pretty standard for a city the size
Yeah.
of Indianapolis.
Right, but now it's crazy high because one company came in, bought every single one of them, jacked the prices up. Like, that's because I checked out after 3 days and I had $180 in parking. And I'm like, this is half of what I made on the entire weekend. Like,
Yeah.
It was awful. I was so mad. And the hotel's like, sorry, it's a private business. There's nothing we can do about it. We don't validate. It's not, like, we cannot do anything about this.
Yeah, because that ends up jacking up the parking prices at the hotels, because the hotels park the cars in the parking structure.
Mm-hmm. And they have no control over it. They're like, it's not even like have a boss who's in charge of parking. You have to go through this company.
We need you to talk to the head of parking.
Right.
At our company. Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
It sucks.
It's funny, though, because the same people who were screaming about microchips in vaccines are going to be lining up to strap on those Oculus headsets in the Metaverse, where
they look so fun.
everything you do will be tracked on your headset then. Because people have largely, I think it's safe to say people have largely given up on the notion of privacy. I mean, even if you have an app on your phone and you click do not track, it still tracks you. They're like, track only when I'm using. It still sends data to, like, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I think people have given up on that notion, but there's a lot of money to be made for a select few. Yeah, but Kim and Floyd and Money Mayweather are getting sued over whatever they were doing. Even if you have a lot of money, you don't want to get tied up in court. You don't want to be paying lawyers all the time for stuff. I'm going to have Volbeat and Ghost tickets a little bit later on. You want to get to Columbus. They're doing a co-headlining run that'll get them to Nationwide Arena in March. So we'll have those on the way. WWE tickets later on. They're just going to do downtown for Monday Night Raw. 35192 to text for anything in here, and you can listen on the iHeart Radio app.